Hey guys,
It's David.
Chris.
and Caleb from the Staudt Brothers, and you guys are listening to the Texas Toast podcast.
Yeah.
Fast, so let's go.
Cheers, everyone. Welcome to the Texas Toast Podcast with Miss Helen, and I'm happy to welcome. I've actually got more than one person. We got the Staudt brothers joining us today on this episode of the podcast, and of course, Caleb is with us right now. David and Chris will be joining them on the couch in just a few moments. So, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Really good.
Good. Nice to have y'all. We're kind of neighbors because y'all are Victoria based, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's correct. Yeah.
I'm in Matagorda.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why your name was so familiar. We'll get into somebody that I met that I think's related to somebody in the band. So let's talk about you. You've got a current radio single out, "Misery," which we highlighted here on the podcast and
Yeah.
ran
Thank you.
across it. Great stuff on that one, and it's charting really good. So what's the backstory on "Misery"?
Yeah. Misery was originally written in 2020, and I think when we were writing it, we were kind of looking around, and I think I just feeling like people got addicted to bad news for a little while, and I think that it was very challenging circumstances. We had a lot of friends, especially in the industry, that were going through some really difficult times. Nobody was gigging, nobody was out and doing things, and so it was a really kind of a difficult time. And I think the song is actually I think it kind of comes out of that place, but it's also hopefully when you hear it, hopefully it's a little bit uplifting too, and hopefully it's
Hmm.
encouraging because I felt like we were looking around, and I think for a little while we got addicted to misery, and it's an easy place to be. I think it's kind of one of those things that mentally we have to learn to overcome.
Well, congrats on the radio single. It's got great success to radio. I'm hearing it on the radio that I listen to, and I'm sure their streaming numbers are good too. We'll talk more about your music. Let's talk about the background on the band, how you came together.
Yeah, so it's been kind of a evolution over time. My mandolin player and myself started this band way back in the day. We've been playing together since almost 2014 in some different projects, and we made a lot of friends in the area in the music business, and that were in other projects. And then as they got out of those projects, I was the guy that was running around just tapping people on the shoulder, saying, "Hey, you want to be in my band?" And Stockton's a great story, man. Stockton's been in the music business for a long time. He was gigging with bands before I had even started my project, and I was going out and watching bands that he was in, and I was like, "That guy is phenomenal. I love that guy." I had a lot of mutual friends, and then the stars kind of aligned. I needed a bass player, and dude, I called you up, and you were like,
Hey.
exactly. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah, well, David, let's talk about you. You are the bass player.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
where are you from Victoria also, or are you from elsewhere?
Goliad, but close enough. Yes.
Oh, Goliad, awesome.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So live here now, obviously. So
And so
yeah,
you've
but
been doing
yes.
music for a long, long time.
21 years now. Started in 2002 with a band called High Speed Hayride, and that's
Oh my
where.
God. No, 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 no,
Yes.
no. Stop, stop, stop. You know how many times I introduced y'all when I was in radio? Oh my God. How
This is it.
So, and it's
okay,
not just me.
I gotta stop. I gotta stop with that.
Our,
Y'all.
our,
Oh
our
shut.
drummer is from Hayride too, so it's really
That's
beautiful for
why
me and
I
him to be back
oh
together.
my
Yes, ma'am.
God. Y'all, serious. I don't mean to get like crazy, crazy stupid. Those were the days. Good stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
see,
thank you.
that was the deal, man. I just went around and I was looking for these guys, and I was like, and they're just industry guys, and they've been around, and I mean, you heard the musicianship on the song. It's been
Mhm.
great to have them on board. We love it.
Well, and while we're talking about like high speed hayride, I'm just gonna jump ahead. We're just gonna converse here because I just knew that we were gonna have so many friends in common. But I I was looking when the new release came out. I had just visit with Zach and Greg because I go
Hmm.
way back with Blue Water Highway, and so
Yeah,
y'all are working together and they're producing y'all.
that's right. Yeah, so
Talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
I met Zach and Greg on a Sunday afternoon in Green, Texas, and they were playing. You know, that Sunday afternoon matinee, they'll do a Green Hall, and I had some friends, and they called me up and they said, "Hey, we're gonna go see this band. It's called Blue Water Highway, and you're gonna love them." And because I'm in music, they always have to qualify those statements, right? You know, these guys are phenomenal, and you're really gonna like them. You know, they're not the average. They're really trying to impress upon me that these guys were not just average musicians, whatever that means. And I went and saw them, and I got to tell you, the first time I heard Zach and Greg, I was just blown away by them. I mean, they are and Kyle and all
Yes,
of
Kyle
them are
also. Yes.
just they're just monsters. And I watch a lot of live music, and I said these guys are just next level. And so I started off as a fan with them, and I got to know them through a lot of different events and some other things. And what was really cool was whenever they started asking me about my projects. And if you know the guys, then you know how down to earth and
Hmm.
how friendly and connected they are, which is awesome. And they started asking me about my stuff, and which was really nice. Um, and I would send them demos, and Zach would give me kind of pointers on things. And then one day I just called him up and I said, "Hey, you know, we're going back into the studio," and I said, "I'd love for you guys to be a part of it." And man, they jumped all over it. They were on board, and I mean, they took it to a level that I was even surprised by how much they started to care about things. I'm getting texts from Zach and Greg like late at night, 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and they're in there working on my project and stuff. And I think anybody, when you're an indie band and you get into this stuff, you just you want to find people that care as much as you do about the things that you're doing. And dude, these guys bought in, and that was tremendous. And they showed a level of dedication all the way from the very beginning that was just awesome. And I think the product speaks for itself.
And so that they also, so Misery is from a new album, Live Wire Priest. Is it out yet? Is it scheduled to be coming out?
Right. So Livewire Priest is going to be the full album that we're going to drop, and Misery, and then our first single Someday were two of the
Oh,
first
love that one.
singles that we've
Hmm.
released off of that chunk of songs that Zach and Greg produced. And so yes, it's coming either late 2023 or early 2024. Depending on how things fall here towards the end of the year, but we're just a few months away from dropping that stuff.
Wow. That has to be really exciting for y'all. And I mean, it's coming at such a good time already with your radio releases, and you're really getting out there. So kind of how many tracks are going to be on the album? Just maybe kind of drop a few little tidbits for us on that.
Yeah, so 9 tracks on the album. It's gonna be obviously the first couple of singles that you get, and it's going to be I feel like the theme of this album, it's a little edgier than some of the previous stuff that we did. We kind of went more towards our rock and roll roots, which was something that we really tried to explore in the studio the last time we were there, and I think it worked out pretty well. It's still you're going to get that big dose of southern influence that everybody loves and Red Dirt, but it does have a little bit more of an edge to it, which I think is great. And with the tracks that we have released and the other stuff that's coming out, I think it kind of tells a story. I mean, a lot of it is about struggle, about overcoming struggle, and just the workmanlike relationship you have to take whenever you're trying to chase and pursue your dreams. And that was kind of a theme through the whole thing, which I think it's cool, and I can't wait to share with everybody. I mean, the guys are super excited to drop this stuff. We talk
I know
about it
you
every
took
week.
the yes, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm super excited for it. That'll be something for us to all look forward to. So speaking of your other band members, let's see, we don't have John, who is your mandolin player. I like how you
Right.
got the mandolin going on in there.
Yeah, John, longtime friend of mine. He was actually the progenitor of this project, along with myself and my brother Otto. And I met the guy at a mutual friend's house, and they said, "Hey, there's this guy, and he plays mandolin. You should really meet him. He's really into Chris Knight." And anybody that knows me knows how much I love Chris Knight as a singer-songwriter. I have this thing. And so we bonded over our mutual affection for Chris Knight, and just started playing together. And some of our first gigs that we ever did were just me with an acoustic guitar and him with the mandolin. And then it just grew from there. And then it got out of control. And that's what happened.
I just love y'all's story. I knew this was going to be a fun one. So let's talk. Okay, I want to go back to, because this kind of reminds me of the story. Like, I'm going to ask this because we have some other brothers that have a T Brothers, Art Brothers, but that was how the band name ended up. How did Brothers end up in Staudt Brothers?
Yeah, so started the band with my brother
Okay,
Otto, who's not here
Otto.
today.
Okay.
He's in New Mexico chopping wood right now. But you giggled, but that's real.
Because I knew it was.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of natural. I've been seeing a lot of brothers on the scene lately, as you mentioned. I think it's kind of natural because music it seems to be kind of a familiar enterprise. I know a lot of people who are in music. They grew up around music. They have siblings in music. Mom and dad
Mhm.
were in music, which was the story of my career. Who in your life was in music?
My father.
Yeah. See,
Mhm.
I
Oh,
mean,
yes. Mhm.
it's usually a family affair. I think that's a very natural thing. And when it came to the writing side of it, my brother was always the sounding board for me, because writing can be intimate, kind of difficult, and so you want to have somebody that you have a whole lot of trust in, and also somebody that can be honest with you. So if you have a brother, you understand how brutally honest your siblings can be about things, and so I think that was very helpful. And we started the writing process like that. And so Staudt Brothers was born, and then I just started chasing around the best group of musicians I could find
You
uh,
got them.
to back me up. Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So
Great.
there's Chris. Well, hey
There he
Chris,
is.
welcome to our visit. So Chris, you are the guitar player for the band, correct?
Yeah, one of
Okay. I just want to check I have to check myself sometimes because
them.
sometimes I get out there. So where are you from? What's your background?
I grew up in Northeast Texas for most of my life, up near like the Nacogdoches area,
Uh-huh. Yes.
and then now I've lived in Victoria for probably like 18 years now or so.
Yeah.
You're a
Been here for a
native
while.
now.
Victoria.
Yeah,
You're a native
yeah, I've been
now.
here for long enough.
Yeah, yeah, he's a native
Okay.
now.
So that's awesome. So a couple of other songs I wanted to talk about. We've talked about the album, the current radio single. I want to talk about Icarus. I like that song.
I do too.
I kept going back and listening to Icarus. So
Oh,
I always pick those bizarre ones, but I'm sorry, I just had to bring that one up. It's in your library. Hello.
yeah, no. So Icarus is a song that I wrote about a friend of mine who has big dreams and aspirations and can't it seems to get in trouble a lot, especially when it comes to human relationships. The song is somewhat autobiographical. I can't name names and who the band the song's about, but I thought it was hilarious. I wrote the song and I took it to my oldest brother, who's not in the band, but is someone that I like to share content with, because he's a he's another person who will give me his dead honest opinion. And I play the song, and it's quiet afterwards, and I'm waiting, and there's kind of a pregnant pause, and then he says, "What the hell's an Icarus, man?"
That was kind of
He's like, I don't get it. What's an Icarus? And I was like, well, it's the Greek, the Greek legend of the guy with the wings of wax who flew to the sun and and fell gloriously. And so I think that it's one of my favorite songs to play. It's a super fun song to play. It's really upbeat. I think live it really translates super well. And it's one that, as David was saying, the guys really like to play. And I like the notion of, there's a line in the song, it's not falling until you hit the ground. And I like the notion of, sometimes whenever you get into these circumstances, you just go, you go balls to the wall until impact. And that kind of zest for life and the activities that you're doing is sometimes it can be catastrophic, but the moments before the catastrophe can sometimes be pretty fun, you know?
hmm Okay, like that. So speaking of playing, that kind of segues into your live shows, and different places that you've been playing. I know you're getting out there and um, just talk about some of the shows you've had, some of the people you've had the opportunity to share the stage with.
Yeah. Just what was it? Last weekend we were in Corpus at Brewster Street with Stoney LaRue.
That's awesome.
Super excited to get the call on that one. Stoney's a great guy. His whole band is full of pros, and I mean it's a great crowd. It was a great time. We've been pretty fortunate to share the stage with a lot of acts. And what's really cool is like people that you listen to and people that you have followed, and then the next thing you know is, oh hey, I'm gonna go open for these people. I'm gonna go share a stage with them, and that's always tremendous. And we never take that for granted. It's something that is super duper cool. And I mean, we've had the opportunity to open for Mike and the Moon Pies at Green Hall, Mickey and the Motor Cars. Those guys are real good group of guys. The Braun brothers over there, super awesome and very talented folks. We even did some stuff. Opened up a festival gig with Shane Smith and the Saints. So we've been out there, and it's been awesome to kind of, like I said, see those people and see the other side of it. And it's so enjoyable because I mean, I think most of us are fans first, and that's how we come to this, right? And it's so cool to see those people and realize them and those sorts of things in the flesh.
Well, I got to see some kind of I got to see some cousin video of y'all at one of your shows. I met I met Mary Ellen. Whose cousin
Yeah.
is Mary Ellen?
Yes. Mary Ellen, my sweet cousin and the
She,
chief evangelist of the Staudt Brothers. We'll
she
call her
is.
that.
She and I hung out.
Um,
Yes.
she's fun. She and I did not know each other as children, although we're second cousins. And my dad and her parents grew up with each other and really knew each other. She grew up in Austin where I grew up, but we just were kind of, how life is. And, I got a call from my brother, and he said, hey, we got to go over here to this. We're going to go stop by this party, and we got to meet somebody there. She's a cousin of ours. And I was like, a cousin of ours? And I said, okay. So I roll over there with my brother, and there's Mary Ellen, all 5'0" of her. And she's the most vivacious, rambunctious person.
She is
And,
adorable.
she adopted Otto and I and just basically decided that we were going to have a relationship and we were going to be friends. And if you know Mary Ellen, you know that once she does that, you really don't have a choice. You just have to. So, she's been great, and she's a true believer. She will tell anybody about my band. It doesn't matter who, and she will hand my EPK out to people in my card and my, hey, have
Oh,
you heard these guys?
yes.
Get your phone out. Let me see your Spotify. You're going to follow my cousin's band. And if I had another 100 people like this, we'd be doing stadium shows already.
Yeah, she really we had a blast because she came here and visited where I am here on the island in Matagorda, and we just struck up a conversation, and I was playing my music, and I think maybe she saw the Texas Toast Koozie or whatever, and we started talking. But the funny thing is she's Mary Ellen and I'm Helen Mary. So
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, we had a
Mm-hmm.
big time. So back to where were we going from here? Let's see. We were talking about shows, got the upcoming album release, and what else is going on in Victoria for y'all?
We've been talking back and forth with our friends from Big Flavor Films, putting together we're putting together some new video content to kind of help support the album. So that's been cool. I'm gonna have to hit the gym real hard to get my video body ready. The camera adds a few pounds, I'm told, so we got to get
Oh, it
we got to get
does.
rocking on that. But yeah, and we are excited about planning some big dates coming in 2024. We've been talking back and forth with some of our folks to do booking, and it's going to be an exciting experience. So we are we're very much in a growth mode, and we're very much looking at every opportunity that comes in. And I love playing with these guys. I think we probably have the best live show that I've been a part of in all the years that I've been playing in music, and I think it shows. And it's super cool to get on the stage with these guys every night and get to share that with people because. Man, I feel like Nolan Ryan with a fastball right now. I just can't wait to show it off. And these guys get up there every night and they pour their heart into it. And that's, as I mentioned earlier, you just want to find somebody that cares as much as you do and somebody that will buy in and invest with you. And I think we really have that as a group.
Well, I can only imagine us 6 months down the road, or especially a year from now, sitting down to visit, to go back and then be, because I just know y'all have great, I know there's going to be great things ahead for y'all. Your sound is amazing. I can't wait to get to a live show to see y'all. So man, it's been so much fun visiting.
We'll do a house party in Matagorda.
Hey.
I think we should work on something since y'all are so close to me. Since y'all are so close, we could actually work something out. And I bet y'all played Schrader Hall a lot, didn't y'all? I know I've seen y'all. That's where the first night, because I knew that I'd already heard of y'all before Mary Ellen, but then all of a sudden the radio release came. But I know y'all probably done some stuff there.
Yeah, I think David's been playing there since he was knee high to a grasshopper. Since Moby Dick was a minnow. But yeah, we were very fortunate. The folks out there that own Schrader, we've gotten to know them, and we played some really neat shows out there. I've seen a lot of great shows out there. And David, have you played out there 150 times yet?
David, not quite. I'm getting there.
David might be, if they were keeping track. I would bet that my bass player has played more gigs at Schrader than any other person alive.
It's gonna be close.
It might be close.
It's gotta be close, man.
I'll say
a lot. There's some guys from the 60s and 70s that probably. It's a heavy one, yeah. But Schrader's it's a great hall. It's a great venue. And they actually let us shoot some of our performance videos out there.
Yes.
And man, it's like Green. It's like those other places. You go in, there's so much history that the walls just ooze history.
I love that place. And I bring it up because that is as far as dance halls, that is my backyard too. And I did so many stage intros there when I was in radio. And I know it's y'all's backyard. And so they're kind of on that hiatus now, but I see where they are going to have a New Year's Eve. I was there last New Year's Eve when they shut it down for the last show. I was there. But anyway, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we're just getting into that local talk now. Let's see what else now. All right. Well, anything else before we wrap things up that maybe I didn't cover, or just things that, that the listener needs to know that I just missed?
Websites,
yeah.
Websites. Yes. Where to find y'all, how to spell it, where to find y'all.
Yeah. So it's www.staudtbrothers.com. It's STAUDT, but it's pronounced like the beer, Staudt. Super easy. And you can find us on Instagram, on Facebook. We're on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Weezer, anywhere that it's streamed or stolen. YouTube, you can find us. And I think that your folks will really enjoy it if they give us a listen. So
I know.
We're excited to share all that. It's gonna be a big year for us coming up, and so I tell people, just wait to see what's coming. Wait what's next. If you like what you hear now, just give us a minute. You're gonna hear some really cool stuff. We're gonna blow your socks off. So
that's why I'm just so happy that we were able to get you scheduled and get you on the podcast, and I got to visit with y'all, and I can't wait to get out and meet y'all in person and see a show.
Yes, please do.
Yes. Okay, so I got my one last question, and y'all can answer as you want. If you were a cocktail, Caleb, what would you be?
Ooh, I would be a bourbon and soda for sure.
Okay, David.
I'm bourbon on the rocks.
Ooh.
And Chris.
I'm just the white trash metal Jack and Coke, bro.
It's not fair. I mean, that's fair. That is true. That's true.
Y'all are the best. I'm so happy y'all were on the podcast. We'll be following along, and I know Misery will be moving up the charts, and then we'll be keeping up for when the album comes out, and we'll chit chat about that on our Texas on Tap episodes that we have here at the podcast. So, thank you so much, Caleb, David, Chris from Staudt Brothers.
Thank you, Helen.
Thanks for having
Thanks.
us.
Yeah.